Okay, doke. So on this video, we have got the John Balding & Sons Limited cast iron cistern from Davy Street, London West. Set up. It's not so much an after restoration video, this is a testing video to make sure everything's in order, because this is a very difficult cistern, once again, to restore. Not sure what it is about Balding cisterns, but they're typically tougher than they look. And by that, I mean harder to service and work on. So yep, we're finally through the difficult chapters now. So yeah, this is how it looks. So just sort of detailed the outside a little bit, got it back to its original galvanised finish. Nice and clean, no paint on it, etc. Still retaining the original label. But the difference is the original flush valve is gone and it's been replaced with a similar age Balding Syphon that I had lying around in the workshop, just the one left. So regards to the flush valve, tried to fix it, got it up and working, but the where it sort of sits, the washer sits on the brass, I cannot get a perfect seat on it. So despite the many different washers used and tried to sort of get it down to a proper flat seat, there was no way of getting it working reliably. So I decided to fit a siphon in it, but even that came with its own problems. So this is slightly oversized, just slightly. It's slightly over 1 3/4 inch external thread. Internal diameter was 1.5 inch. But yeah, had a bit of trouble getting this on, ended up breaking the siphon, so I ended up replacing a bit of pipe in there, and then I had to resolder one of the other joints in there because I put too much pressure on it. So we've added a shim up here, and then a shim inside the cistern. Similar thing with a coupling nut here, even though it's an antique one, like this one would have had originally. Still quite difficult to thread up, but no problems there. We've got it up and running, so everything looks spot on, no leaks so far, which is great. And I will show more on the inside of the cistern. But first, we're going to flush it. Let's give it a go. It's up and running. Yay! Excellent. Cistern view now. Beautiful. Beautiful galvanised finish. The lid is still exactly as it was. Just need to give it a wipe down. That's literally all I need to do. Inside the cistern, it has been primed as usual, but due to having to work on the inside a bit extra, I will have to redetail the inside. This is not a proper after restoration video. So we've got a copper float bowl from where it was originally, but we've changed this to a high pressure M.O.H Pattern Part 1 float valve. This is Birmingham made one, AVA. I'll look it up and I'll get the description later. So yeah, we've still got the original arm, which is nice, and the original float bowl, so it's still original from Balding, and that's the siphon inside from Balding Cistern. See, it has been resoldered, not perfectly, but just about good enough. And so re-detailing the siphon as well, just to get the extra bits of dirt off it. Slightly bend that arm down as well, it's working fine. And I had to do some adjustments to the lever. I had to take a bit of the pieces both sides here, so you've got more leverage, and I had to lower it down a bit as well because it's clanging onto the lid both ends. This one still sort of gently comes into contact as the lever goes up. It's better that it's sort of going up and it going down. So we've got as much leeway on the siphon as possible, which is excellent. I feel quite happy with that. But so far, so good. Pretty impressed with how the siphon's come out so far. As usual, having to change it from an old style hybrid flush valve, which leaks 24/7, to valveless siphon, of course. Okay, with the design, I had to use a long old-fashioned bolt. So we've got 2 brass links up there, just about to see, but a long bolt going through with this end, and then at the other end it has a brass split pin holding it into place. So we've always got perfect size fittings for everything in the workshop, which is superb. Always good to keep hold of the old bits, just in case you need them one day. Alright, let's give it a go. See the bit of pipe I replaced it with. So yes, I need to do a secondary polish of the siphon, tidy up the solder, secondary polish of the float valve, plus the copper ball, and put some lacquer on it, get it nice and shiny for the customer. No rush on this job, thankfully, but you know, everything's got to be done to the highest standard. So yeah, that bit of copper came from the old flush valve. I melted a bit of solder going into the sort of, you know, the standpipe tube, sort of cut it down to length, and sort of grinded out the top and the bottom as it was how it's done originally, just to get it to fit in there. However, it's threaded, but you can still sort of tap it down like so, slight dent on top, get it into place, and you still get a good enough fit when you've properly cleaned it up and soldered it. So this is nice and solid, which is excellent. So all around, this Cistern gets a pass from me. So we're ready to go ahead with the next stage and get it all detailed, ready to rock and roll. So yes, that's the end of the video, and as always, thank you for watching.